Leg one wasn't was pretty much all low. Looking back, wasn't particularly well, which was disappointing, and that's something to do with before the race that I didn't really manage that well, and that's part of campaign preparation. I should have dealt with it, I didn't, and it affected the sailing, and that's also very disappointing, but that's a lesson learned. Not got to deal with that in the future. Leg two, still struggling a little bit with fatigue. I think one of the lessons for the whole race is that I took on too much as the year evolved in my work commitments. The sponsorship from Eline Orthodontics, which was is fantastic, but wasn't initially based around doing a Solitaire du Figaro, so it was something I put in there as an extra, and so I think I turned up a little bit undercooked in the preparation for the race, and leg two was a lot better, but I still was recovering from being sick and the antibiotics and seeing the doctor in between legs. But it was some good sailing. It was a long time since I've done any really heavy downwind sailing with big spinnaker, so that was fantastic to get some more opportunity to learn that, and I improved as the leg went on. So yeah, probably nice to arrive in Dublin having done some good sailing and sort of improved a bit on the performance. Leg three, what happened to leg three? Oh, leg three, the lows again, a bad start, got left in Dublin Bay. I got a bit of work to do on my starting, and then recovered quite well, got up into the 20s, and then just made a tactical decision that was wrong. Probably one of the big lessons for the race as well is I tended to be a little bit brave in my tactics, and actually sometimes I just need to play follow the leader. You find that some of the guys in the front of the fleet, they get there by just making sure they stick together, and I sometimes go off a little bit on my own and don't need to do that. Later in the race I also then decided that I wasn't going to sail through the whole fleet and recover after a mistake, so I took a big risk, which didn't work out, and I kind of knew the risks involved, so because my race was over for the general classification, I thought I'd just try and see if we can pull a rabbit out of the hat, and unfortunately couldn't find any rabbits on that one. So yeah, again, you know, some interesting lessons and some good points, the ability to pull through the fleet, and then obviously make a tactical mistake, and that's the way it goes. That's racing in the Figaro when you're tired. Leg four again, bad start, that's the low. Got to really sort that out, and a few little incidents, and probably the first 4 hours of the race I estimate there was something wrapped around the keel. Couldn't find it, couldn't really get short of having a swim, which I considered, to actually find it, because I wasn't sure there was something there, and I thought maybe it's just me. I was, you know, careful not to want to get in the water. Eventually did manage to get something off the keel after lots and lots of playing with a big weed stick and everything like that, and then once I got that, again pulled through the fleet. Again, another night time, another tactical mistake, put me back again, and then pulled through a bit again. So very bouncy. I was up and down the fleet, little mistakes put me back, and then would recover some time. Speed was good in parts, and then a little bit erratic as well. Overall, disappointed with the result, the actual position, but actually when you have time to think about it in the cold light of day, you recognise that that's part of the Figaro education. I mean, there isn't anyone here who's rubbish, there isn't anyone that's slow. They all have their days when they go quick. Once you make a mistake, it's very, very hard to recover. I think there's a lot of people here that come with aspirations to win it and be top 5, and they'll be all be very disappointed, or lots of them will be disappointed. I think you know, I look at it as part of my Figaro education. I'm very enthusiastic for the race. I want to come back. I've got a lot of lessons to take on board. I have a long-term sponsor in Eline Orthodontics with a long-term plan, and that enables me to kind of start looking at next year already and start thinking, right, what do I need to do in the winter to plan my training, to have more structure to it all. I think from the point of view of the race, it's just, I see it as the ultimate challenge. It's a massively strong one design fleet. There are plenty of them in the world, but they only race for 3 or 4 hours a day. With the Solitaire du Figaro and the Figaro class, you've got to race 24 hours a day for several days, and they're not so long that you drop into routine, but they're short enough that it's possible to, you know, blow yourself up if you don't learn how to manage yourself properly and manage your sleep and everything like that, and manage the boat. And I think that makes for what I see as the ultimate challenge. And I think as a class there's a lot of emotion, a lot of passionate people, and that kind of fits in with me. I'm quite passionate about my sport and my sailing, and I like the way they operate and their professionalism and their passion for the whole thing as well.